Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Summer 2020. I'm Atlas, joined by LS here for our final series of the night. SANDBOX taking on Hanwha Live Esports. We had a bit of a soiree with the top of the standings. Don't know whether we want to do that again.
We're on the Twilight Zone.
Now we're back. Now we're back on the east side of the bracket, where we should be able to expect some better League of Legends.
Wait. Wait, what?
Well, I hope so anyway, because that last series was very strange. This one is going to be, once again, another test for Yamato Cannon to see whether he can continue his 100% win streak.
Interestingly enough, Hanwha Life has also run the gauntlet.
Yeah, they have. They've had some toughies as well.
Yeah, they've had a lot of tough matches, and this one will be very interesting for them going up against SANDBOX, because Viper and Lehen should actually be able to get online in this series, because they're, well, top side is going to be interesting, I guess, against Summit. We'll see what Summit shows up today. Is it going to be some Summit, like top of the mountain, or some in? Could show his face here.
Yeah, he certainly could. However, I mean, at the moment, he's been grinding a lot of solo queues, currently ranked 35, which isn't too bad here in Korea. So we'll see whether this is a sign of good things to come. Was also very outspoken with what Yamato did for the team as well. Has actually come out and said, like, the Yamato effect is something that we've now, you know, come to realize is actually a thing, and they're looking to utilize the Yamato magic, as is quoted right here.
Well, let's see how they manage to do. Hanwha Life is the only 0-win team, and their remaining opponents for round 1 are SANDBOX, Genji, and DRX. So, it's now or never for Hanwha Life to stop their losing streak. As, well, there's no way back. Dudu, Cad, and Lava have to step up in order to activate Hanwha Life's Hope, the Viper Magic.
So it's Yamato Magic versus Viper Magic. That's what we're doing right here?
They have any anti-venom.
Well,
for the Viper.
They're gonna need to find it. Was Viper also a unit in StarCraft? I'm trying to remember. I think I'm thinking of Valkyrie. Thinking of Valkyrie.
Yeah.
My bad. Because they would have been both Terran as well, which is just not really right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so never mind.
Work.
Yeah, can't quite find that particular analogy, so I should probably go, I guess.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Team stats, none of these are going to be very good, guys. Win rate with gold lead at 20 minutes, 0%. Nice. They did have a gold lead at 20 minutes twice.
It's the lowest in the league, I believe.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Who's? I mean, I'm not impressed. I want to see the negative percentages. Where's the negative percentages?
Well, team goal difference at 20. They are... Someone has to have a lead here today.
Well, exactly.
That's the upside, Atlas.
One of these stats is definitely going to improve. The average of being behind 3,000 gold is definitely bad news, but it's not the worst. Because there's a 10th. There's a 10th place team. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, so there weren't very many great stats.
You know what? It would have been the best needle possible is if one team entirely got subbed out and then Riot just puts in the stats 11th or something. They were a different team.
Oh, no.
Well,
that has happened before. Definitely in the LPL. I remember RNG just ran 5 different players.
Yeah, and I mean, it's happened in Challengers Korea. There was the double squad of
PSG, right, yeah.
I believe, did it.
And I mean, we've had a Freaker do it, but they've only they've swapped like a couple of players here and there.
Right?
Yeah,
that was it. 4 people went in.
They've done a 4-man sub, but never the entire team full swap reset. So
Dudu, Cad, Lava, Viper, and Lehens.
Currently at the moment, Viper and Lehens are sitting at around 14th and 11th in solo queue, so still dominating. Probably one of the highest duos here in the LCK when it comes to solo queue, so that is impressive. So we're going to be highlighting OnFleek versus the Canadian dollar here for this one.
Kind of looking like the Canadian dollar, I'll be honest. Some of the stats here, it's really struggling. I'm not
The gold coffer's not very high. Jungle proximity?
Is that... Okay, I guess jungle... Why... Being first is probably not what you want, right? Means your jungler's always helping you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's actually not a good stat. Kill participation at 15. He is second, apparently, in the league, which is
and
quite
first
nice.
For just overall kill participation, which is pretty impressive.
So, definitely a team player is Cad. Wait, no, jungle proximity. He is the jungle.
Yeah. So I guess it's like lane proximity. It's like how often he's around his fellow laners.
Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. Gold percentage, he's 10th, but I mean, the amount is very negligible.
Yeah, and also remember there are about 12 different junglers that have played, so it's
Yeah.
not the worst. Not the worst. You may look at that 10 and say there are 10 teams, it's probably the worst. No, not the worst. There are other ones here, but still not exactly the greatest stat here for CAD, and it's a team that's been struggling, right? And so you expect a lot of these stats to be the way that they are, especially when it comes to like the gold percentages, because actually the jungle's the first thing to go, right? When you lose map control, the jungle is the first thing that you lose.
Yep.
And so it's very likely that CAD is going to be very low if the team does not have very much control of the map, which has exactly been the case for Hanwha Life throughout the summer split so far. They haven't been able to get themselves together, as Dudu and CAD very, very new. As here we go. Yamato on your screen right now does have the beautiful floral shirt on. And having a chat to Joker to see what they can do as far as their drafting strategy. Very interested to see what they can do against Nofe and Kesman here, because actually Hanwha were known as the team that does like to push the envelope.
Yeah,
does like to try the new stuff.
So we'll see if they have any of that new stuff here today. If there's a team that might pull out Nunu, probably be Hanwha Life. You know what? Just give me Nunu support even.
I want Summit to play Nunu top lane. I want to see him rolling that snowball all the way down. We're not playing Kalista or Cam.
Well, those two champs are now removed, and we'll see if the other mainstay bans remain the same. Set continuing to get banned. Now, the interesting thing here is that he was 95%ed in patch 10.12, but in patch 10.14 he didn't get hit, which I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
weird.
what's going on, Riot. You know.
Well, actually, to be honest, I think that's good insight, because if they nerfed Set, it would be a bit sad, because it's just not. I don't think he's that overpowered.
Yeah, I really don't. It's one of those things where the ban presence, it reminds me of Tom Kench, where he was permanently getting banned or picked.
Yeah.
And then eventually people just stopped picking him.
And they realized, oh wait, hang on.
Wait a minute, he's actually not.
Still League of Legends, actually.
Yeah, speak of the devil, he gets. I'm done.
Well, I mean, this is different. This is Hanwha Life against SANDBOX, and Gorilla just spams Tom Kench, no matter what day of the week it is. He's just always on Thomas duty. Does mean that something else is going to get through, and the karma looks to be where SANDBOX are going to prioritize things. I don't mind it. I feel like this suits compositions that get behind Root and allow him to carry.
And B1 Karma, I think, is one of the strongest B1s in the game right now. So it's a nice opening here by SANDBOX.
Very flexible.
Yeah, she can go mid, top, AD, or support, and she has different build paths for any variation that you really need her to take on. Ezreal and Volibear now.
Not bad.
Going to be the hover here. Yeah.
So Volley going to be able to take some control here in the jungle. Trolls versus Bears could be the matchup.
Well,
okay.
Trundle getting locked in. Now, Trundle struggles against Ezreal, as does Aphelios in the later stages if Hanwha Life start drafting long-range, disengagey stuff. Now, Karma can obviously go bottom. This is where some of the scary things come in.
Yeah.
Where it becomes a little bit awkward to choose how you want to go about this. They maybe could just slam R3 Orianna, and that would be a... Alright, well.
There we go. They're listening. And Lava is, of course, a legacy Orianna player. We actually thought that he could only play Orianna in Corki, the beginning of his career, but he did play them relatively well. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Excited to see what he can do here in this game up against SANDBOX. So already, like you say, still a very flexible composition. Yes, you might think of Orianna as being more of those, suited to more of the slow-moving comps that do have more of that aim at wave clear, get to the late game. But she can be used in a lot of different varieties of composition.
Well,
see how she is going to be. Is Tarek and Jace to be banned.
She's a good pairing with Volibear if he's going to be inside of the jungle. Very good against the Trundle Aphelios. Jace gets banned away as a means to not allow Hanwha Life to just go into a poke comp or a siege type team composition. SANDBOX would be very vulnerable to that.
Yep.
And now Bard gets banned away, which might be signaling that there's going to be a tank support or something that's coming up, or they just don't want Aphelios to get ulted and then set up on.
Yeah.
That would be very unfortunate.
The thing that I'm looking at is the complete lack of Yuumi. And I thought if there's anyone that's still going to play her after the nerf, it's going to be Lehens.
Yeah.
But for the first time in what feels like forever, that is a free ban that Hanwha Life are going to ignore. But it's going to be Ezreal and Leona. So a fair bit of early game poke and power there towards the bottom side.
Well, Leona's going to help get onto Aphelios.
I like the Thresh.
And yeah, the unfortunate thing is they don't have another hybrid flex, or they don't have another flex champion that can come in on R4 and then flex with a Volibear jungle top. And if they could do that, they could have found a counter pick down in bottom. And one that would have been insane here would be Morgana. Or
yeah.
against SANDBOX. So a bit of a blunder is R4 Leona, because you don't need to get onto Aphelios when he has to come into you. When you have Orianna, you have Ezreal already. It just doesn't make really any sense. So now they find themselves in an awkward spot. Morgana would have been fantastic against this team composition. And I don't know, SANDBOX, they go for the Thresh and the LeBlanc. They're just trying to win through lane domination. And the Mordekaiser into the Karma, this champion is awful, Atlas.
And also they have only magic damage, basically. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
you can say that Ezreal deals
Yes.
physical damage and, you know, Mordekaiser's going to bop people with his big
Well-
club, but this is like the easiest Spirit Visage ever for a Trump who wants to build
Yes.
that first item. Like, Athene's comes through for Karma. That's what she wants to build anyway.
Right.
And
Athene's-
she gets rewarded for it.
Athene's is going to be first item. Murktread's very valuable on her as well. Banshee's Veil on LeBlanc in later stages. Murktread's as well. Spirit Visage, Murktread's on Trundle. Everything's very, very rough right now. SANDBOX's team composition is kind of weird. It really is like solo queuey, is sort of what it feels like. It just feels like strong champions that are locked in together. And so, in terms of like a theme, there really isn't one.
I mean, you can see sort of what a team fight will look like with, you know, Karma chilling with the Aphelios, and then hopefully he can reposition utilizing the Thresh, things like that. But otherwise, yeah, I think that the LeBlanc feels a bit off theme. Like, what do you do with the Trundle? Like, some strange things.
This is very interesting because Ezreal is going to be forced to go Trinity Force here, and he'll have to go down the physical damage route. He'll have to really go into it, because itemization for the opponents is going to be too easy. Mountain Soul this game would be spicy for both of these teams even, actually.
Oh, 100%. Very interested to see how this one's going to go as we hop under the rift for game number 1, SANDBOX versus Hanwha Life. Ah, Quinn LeBlanc.
That skin is so beautiful. What is that?
Quinn LeBlanc.
Oh.
It's a Quinn skin. Yep.
Is that actually...
It looks a lot like Quinn.
It does. It looks... Yeah, it looks... I mean, well, actually, it looks like LeBlanc got a hold of Valor, and now we're here.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Well,
yellow Karma up here. Okay, these
Sun
skins
Goddess,
all
definitely
look
the best.
really nice. This LeBlanc looks straight out of some evil, futuristic cyborg movie.
And I love how, like, we're looking at all these brand new skins, and then Gorilla has literally the oldest skin for Thresh you can possibly own.
Don't even talk. we don't talk about that one, Atlas, is what's going on here. Let's take a look.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay, Grasp on Karma. She's going to be able to proc that so much against Mordekaiser.
Oh, yeah.
And going into the tank Karma route, I think, is the best thing that she could do here, because Mordekaiser, Volibear, and Leona all have to be on top of her. It's going to make her that much tankier and more difficult to kill. I'm curious to see if Summit's going to actually build like Rod of Ages, just to get more value out of the Grasp.
I actually don't see why you wouldn't just go Athene into Ardent Sensor. You can actually just build the like more supportive mid lane variety, be really strong for the mid game when you're alongside your Aphelios, and I don't think you get punished for that whatsoever.
Well, speaking of things that you can get punished for, Cad is doing the classic, the red and the blue buff on a champion that doesn't need to do it. like this. Because there's very few champions that will out-duel Volibear in the early stages, so he doesn't even really have to worry about getting invaded. But his clear speed is actually reasonably quick, so it's very surprising that he's going to waste duration. The fact that we're facing up against them doesn't change anything. We always have to fear a man that has nothing to lose. Pulling our guards down, they might need only an hour or a day to make things work.
Oof. Making sure they stay on their toes. Good to hear from Yamato. And look, actually, for SANDBOX, every win is super important. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. They just have to keep winning as many games as they can. As a team that came out of the promotion tournament and then lost most of their games leading into summer, it is bad news. It's Cad. Oh no, the wrath of the Canadian dollar coming down here towards the bottom side. Good stun onto Gorilla first up, and that is a very easy first blood for Cad.
And the Aphelios Thresh lane is not the lane that they want to be falling behind in, because the Ezreal is the key component to this, and that's a really nice pressure gank.
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Sky Strikes, that does more damage than it should, in my personal opinion.
No, I think it's perfect.
You think it's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very bad. It should get buffed.
Okay, okay. I feel like when it's a swing of effective health in the moment, it is very dangerous for that ability to feel like it does too much. So it's where I sort of stand on that one. But very scary when a bear jumps out of the brush like that. Zonfleek is going to be able to at least get himself a Rift Scuttler. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade there. Krogkamp's still available here for the Trundle, who has been farming a lot more than the Volibear.
Yeah. And you can see the top lane already looking very rough.
Oh yeah, this...
Summit managed to get a cheater off, I believe.
Either that or he just started with more gold.
No, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching the minimap.
Oh, good sidestep there from Lehens, but a little bit unfortunate for Gorilla, who does throw down the Lantern, but Root, no options. Flash still available here, as that play was unbelievable from Gorilla. Saved Root's Flash. That is actually huge news.
Yeah. And so, definitely still a win, though, by Hanwha Life. Obviously, things are not going super well for SANDBOX on the bottom side, but on the top side, though, Summit is doing a very good job.
So it reminds me of when Summit played Soraka.
Oh.
You know, and it's like he was really annoyed that he was playing a utility champion like that, as we have a look at this first blood again.
Just comes in.
Nice!
Really basic. Nice. Yeah.
Yep, pretty good flash Q coming out from Lehens to make sure that there is no way for anyone to respond to anything.
And, well,
it's just depressing.
It is. It's a very rough matchup. Mordekaiser can never really kill her. I mean, she shouldn't be able to kill Mordekaiser without jungler assistance, but it definitely is. Karma is the one with all autonomy in the matchup. It's really on her to mess up. Summit doing a very good job at holding down the fort up there in top lane. So, Infernal Dragon is first one of the game. It's very important for both of these teams to try to pick that up. Obviously, Hanwha Life can definitely use that against the assumed resistances that SANDBOX will eventually get in the later stages. That recall is just going to be back. I don't know what Dudu is doing. The wave is coming into him, so he can wait.
Well, he has to now. I feel like he's wasted a little bit too much time there, as Obliterate does connect, I believe. But Inspire, just too good. Sort of disguised any damage that may have come down. Lava back here in the mid lane. Fate not having the greatest of times, but is still ahead in farm. Sorry, has been losing out on a few of these trades. Hasn't seemed to matter. Zonfleek just doing some babysitting. Okay, Lava taking a big trade there from Fate. Actually could be very impactful here as Onfleek's going to move on down. That's a great double play.
Oh, man.
But I have a feeling he's still dead. Shockwave is going to connect onto Onfleek as well as Fate. Looking desperately for the Orianna, but she is going to survive for the moment. The Volibear not going to be so lucky as Onfleek turns it around onto Lehens, and they'll take themselves a crab in this lane as well. By lane, I mean River, and they might just move down to the Dragon. In the meantime, Dudu getting crushed. Which is how things have been going.
Summit's teleport was cancelled by Death Realm.
Oh, wow,
of Dudu, so that is a little micro win, I guess. We'll see how they can end up utilizing that. There's the Chalice. So Summit is going to just build straight into the Athene's Unholy Grail. And so, no Rod of Ages here. And right now, SANDBOX, they find themselves with a 300 gold lead. Let's take a look at this one more time. Very awkward to approach onto Gorilla here. Getting so much value out of bone plating. Viper goes in. One-man Orianna Shockwave, and Root, he had Kog'Maw available. He switches into Draven.
He didn't actually have Kog'Maw available. He picked up Kog'Maw Draven in the exact instant that they started fighting.
Pretty good.
My goodness, this is like level 4 redemption all over again.
Well,
although Aphelios does know which one he has next, but he was completely out of mana on both of them.
Yes.
Out of mana. By mana, I mean ammo. Life's hard. Aphelios ahead in farm by just a little bit. I believe that turret plate left wanting as well. Don't know whether Viper was actually there. Opting to go for a recall, as you can see. Back to try and get towards Manamute as quickly as he possibly can. See how quickly he stacks up that tier. Hasn't delayed it or anything with a sheen. Fate will be grabbing his blue buff and heading back to this lane. We're checking in on top lane just to see how much of a bad time Dudu is in fact having, but he has himself his Merc Treads at the moment. So that's going to mean that at least he's not going to take any damage. Like, yes, he's not going to be able to kill Karma, but she won't be able to kill him either. As Fate gets unaffected by the orb.
And Karma is just, even though she's only going even in lane, that's all that, or well, she's winning actually, because it has a little bit of a CS advantage, but she's worth so much more than Mordekaiser.
Oh yeah.
And so, Summit, at level 8, Karma should only have about 1,080, so Summit is about 100 up.
Not bad.
Right now, so does that mean he has like 30 grass procs?
He's been proccing it basically off cooldown.
Yeah, so 30 grass procs, it seems, probably for Karma up here.
Sidestep there is, might have it back available. There it is. I think we actually saw about the cooldown of Grasp utilized in that one moment. Gorilla looking for a hook potentially onto Lava, who does have his flashback available and Phase Rush. A bit more of a speedy Orianna this time around. Root, good sidestep there on the Mystic Shot.
And Infernal is still live, so neither team really making a proactive effort to try. Yeah.
We just get back up top lane and it's just so many grass procs.
How many does she have? And all right, well, Sork Pen Boots actually picked up by LeBlanc, and that feels a little bit
odd.
Little, you know, Fate has a little bit of moxie, is what he's going on with.
Okay, okay.
It's not a big deal.
If he can get on top of Viper, then yeah, he's going to be able to have a lot of value from that one. At least in the early stages of the game, before anything does come in to the tune of a QSS or a Hex Drinker or something like that, that Ezreals do sometimes like to purchase.
And we'll see. Hanwha Life, fortunately for them, because no dragons have been taken, there's less pressure on Viper to get that Miramana super early completed, or the transform anyway.
Yep.
Traditionally, the third dragon is the timing attack, where Ezreals are really put to the test to see if they've completed it. A Jinx right now.
Yep, just infernuming up the wave. They're going to clear out this ward. Shockwave available here for Lava, but not going to use it. Just takes Fate down to about half health as he's clearing out the vision.
And Summit back up here in top lane. Looks like Dudu's just going to shove in the wave. This is...
Yeah.
Oh!
Find the chain. That's a decent Shockwave there, but Lava not going to be deterred as Cad is right here to help defend. Summit just grasping onto this top lane over and over again. You can see Fate, despite the fact that it looks like he's losing every trade, is still staying ahead in farm, so I'm not sure. He must be doing something, right?
Yeah, and Dudu just continuing to go blow for blow up in top. Fate with the Sork Pen and the Lost Chapter right now, though, Orianna does have a little bit more trade potency overall. Summit almost has his teleport back and available, so the end of the day, nothing really too impactful. Actually, Dudu is now actually going to be on the back foot and maybe not have his teleport available, as Summit can maybe go down and join the fight.
It's a newly completed Athene's Unholy Grail as well, so Summit's value only more increased.
Well, this is one of the surprising things. So Athene's is obviously really good, and you're going to go into Ardent Sensor. It really feels like Rod of Ages is just lost out on here, though, because it's such a free laning phase, and
yeah, you may as well build it.
You may as well get it. You get so many free stats that are so good against Hanwha Life, and it just makes you so much more obnoxious.
Maybe they're worried about the Aphelios not quite scaling fast enough, so they need to try and get to those utility items as quickly as possible, or something of that nature. It's a possibility. I feel like Trundle could be a super tank this game as well if he keeps getting the shields and heals, which he may need to be. Basically sole frontline at the moment.
Oh, doo-doo. Up here in top, still just getting shoved in. Going Proto Belt as his first item.
Ahead of farm as well.
Yeah. And On Fleek is up a level on Cad, who maybe is about to ding 8 off the Gromp. We'll see. There it is. Okay, dinged 8. So they're pretty close in the XP. Oh, man. Fate is going to miss a cannon and... Wow. Distortions. What is he?
Could this be
Whoa!
the dodge? He does. Gets out of the way of the shockwave, and now On Fleek should be out of... Oh, my goodness.
Nope.
Red Bomb! Nope. That's why you drink your potions, ladies and gentlemen. Cool guy walked away, but there was no explosion.
I mean, Lava played with fire. Oh!
Okay.
Summit?
Yeah, Death Realm up towards the top side.
It's fine.
Just gonna put him on the leash, but Dudu just walks him down and kills the Karma.
Wait, Summit had Flash and Dudu fail flashed.
And I feel also like Summit probably was going to have the Mantra W available at some point.
Yeah, that was very... hopefully we can get a replay. Maybe this was a spectator bug because of the Death Realm animation? I'm not totally sure. Proto Belt not even completed. So now Hanwha Life, they pick up the Infernal Dragon, and that was big for them. They rolled Cloud, and if you're Hanwha Life, what you want in these team fights is Ocean. You want Ocean Soul, whereas SANDBOX, they want Mountain for the resistances that they should be gravitating towards. And surprise, why does On Fleek have Ninja Tab Eyes?
Because he's going to get auto-attacked. No, I absolutely have no idea. Maybe he doesn't value that... Okay, there's a lead.
No!
Yeah, that's... I got nothing, dude. I got absolutely nothing for you.
I really don't understand.
It's
There's
Oriana's
so much
Clockwork
CC.
windup.
Oh, all right.
Hey.
Well, let's take a look at the replay here.
야 잡았어.
Yeah, I got him.
야 죽었어.
He died.
Well, nice work. Now we can see why Summit couldn't flash, because of course he was right at the edge of the Death Realm. Nowhere to go, no way out.
I'm getting word on why On Fleek bought Ninja Tab Eyes.
Oh, what's that? Yeah.
He identifies as a ninja.
Ah, right, okay.
So he's just trying to be sneaky.
He was afraid of the Nightingale floor.
Exactly.
No, wanted to make sure he was as quiet as possible.
Yep.
Understand that entirely. Is this top lane out of turret? Should be going. Dudu. Not sure whether he's going to be able to get too much done here. Does have Death Realm.
Yeah, I don't think he can kill any of those champions inside of Death Realm. Even with the... Well, actually, how does the... Yeah, not be able to. They would just run around. Okay, Summit.
Flash for flash.
Yep. Gonna be flash for flash overall. And Cloud Drake's coming up in 3 minutes. Now, SANDBOX did get first turret of the game, and now they're summoning it, the Rift Herald, into mid. That's gonna get a... Disappear?
Yeah,
I mean, it did damage, but yeah.
But immediately her eye was poked.
Okay.
And Love managed to kill her. Fortunately for Shelly. I believe that was Shelly, actually. Shirley wasn't utilized, was she?
No, that was Shirley.
Oh, it was Shelly? Okay, never mind.
I believe it.
I feel like everything is just super late in this game. As Summit is going to try and tether up the Viper, but it does not mean anything, and he takes the kill. Onto the Karma very comfortably. I like that. Report your flashes to your jungler. He comes in and picks up some kills.
Yeah. And things are looking a bit rough right now for SANDBOX. I mean, they're not really behind in gold. That
I want to try and deny as much of.
I guess they're valuing recalling immediately. Now, okay, if Hanwha Life actually freezes side lanes, this would be an intelligent decision. But we've seen that they just push over and over and over, and so leaving up the turret would actually be a pretty advanced maneuver to constantly force the opponent back into the middle of the lane or to bounce the wave faster. But we'll see if they actually look to utilize that. As let's take a look one more time. Viper just arcane shifting in, doesn't even matter. Summit is not able to survive this.
Yeah, tried to do some kiting, but with 3 members there, he was always going to be going down, especially without his flash. Glad you mentioned it, that Viper is sort of priced into heading towards Trinity Force. He is certainly going that way. Summit also heading towards his Ardent Sensor, actually relatively close as well, despite now losing by a lot of farm up against this Mordekaiser.
And it's so surprising. No one actually got Merc Treads at all, which is a little bit lost to Shopkeeper. Thresh doesn't need Swiftness boots.
We have literally every other boot. Apart from Boots of Mobility.
This is a scandal of the likes that I have not seen. I don't know what is going. That Shopkeeper is he's selling something.
He's certainly mixing up the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like he's like the dad from Matilda. You know, just a little bit sneaky. It's like, no, it's not the car that I need. It's Cad. Gonna have to ulti out very, very quickly. Root immediately cleanses to avoid the slow from the Solar Flare. Zonfleek, I believe, still had Subjugate running, so won't have that for an ensuing Cloud fight. Lahens just wanted to show how pretty he was. His golden form. Lava gets chained up.
And, alright, so this is the part in the game where it's not worth losing your life over a Cloud Dragon.
That's a great shockwave, but it's only on Fleek as the Death Realm was there for Root. Still going to be alive.
Whoa.
This is that Q. And Hanwha Life have been well and truly softened up.
Yeah.
And it looks like SANDBOX should be able to get control of this area.
Yeah, Cloud Dragon looks like it's on SANDBOX's side. And yeah, Lahen's not going to be able to do anything. Dudu does have teleport, as does Lava, and here they come.
Oh, the True Shot Barrage steals it away. Cad immediately going to fall down, but that is going to be it. Claimed for Hanwha Life. The Mountain Drake will be available in 4.5 minutes now. And Mountain Soul, we've already mentioned how valuable this Drake will be for both teams. Maybe it's good news for SANDBOX. I mean,
yeah.
4 Mountain Drakes sounds pretty good to me.
4 Mountain Drakes definitely can't be understated. This was a very key timing, though, for SANDBOX at this Dragon. Look at the items. Ezreal was stunted. He didn't have Triforce complete. You see Orianna, it looks like Void Staff was in the inventory, as was Leandri's Torment for Mord. So, in terms of items and base level, this was SANDBOX's best chance to fight. Hanwha Life gets repelled immediately. They turn back to starting the Cloud Dragon, and it really looks like they were just going to get it, but let's take a look at Viper's True Shot Barrage. Was that literally perfect?
Did it do 700 damage?
Was that actually...
Oh, that was insane time. No one actually...
야, 내가 먹었다, 내가 먹었다.
No, it did 444.
444, okay.
So, that was...
내가 먹었다.
That timing.
Yeah,
No,
I got it. Is what Viper said. And now we'll see the real test. Will Lava? No, he won't. He's honestly lives on the equator. Is what's going on here?
It's warm. You know, you gotta.
Yeah, Lava doesn't freeze. You know.
No, it doesn't. I mean, when it does, I mean, is his name Rock? Don't think so. I don't call him Granite.
Well,
needs to keep things warm. There's the SANDBOX, the Solar Flare going to come in once again.
Oh!
The combo. Really beautiful. Lava's going to pick up that kill.
Ooh.
SANDBOX are in full retreat.
I really wonder if Lava's Q placement was intentional to basically say, get over here with the R pull on the gravity. And so that was really nice. Varuk just ends up going down. He's in the middle of mid lane because 500 gold is imperative.
Oh, yeah.
to the success of this game. And we'll see. The side waves, bot lane obviously can be frozen by either team. We'll see if any of them manage to do it. Spirit Visage, or wait a minute, what's going on here? He built a cloth armor with a ruby now too. Now, he can still be going into Spirit Visage, but I really hope he doesn't just stay on Spectre's Cowl and try to go into an armor item. As okay, Banshee's Veil is coming in now on LeBlanc, and I like the Null Magic Mantle on both Thresh and Aphelios. That's very good, because Hex Drinker should probably just come in.
I think so, unless you need
Or
a QSS,
QSS,
and maybe
yeah.
Root is going to go for that QSS, because
Oh yeah, it was.
this then may not happen.
I believe that Q placement by Lava was intentional.
Looked like it, because of course the Shield of Daybreak came in for the stun initially anyway, so he could have just placed it on top of the Aphelios if he wanted to. Speaking of Aphelios, he's back alive again, but doesn't have any QSSs completed just yet, and is now going to be a little bit more scared. However, does have the cleanse, so don't be too worried at the moment. Plus, Lava just completed the Forbidden Book, so
We're not going to talk about that.
I mean, in this game, it's totally fine. There's, you know,
He could have.
beans on the Karma,
yeah,
there's Trundle, there's lots of healing.
Yeah, there's enormous amounts of lifesteal and everything else that is going on. We'll see what happens. 1 minute until the fight. And now it also looks like Lava is going into Banshee's Veil, which I feel like that's a little bit surprising because he should always be on the offensive, and he already has Merc Treads as some MR. If he ends up getting Mountain Drake too, things are going to be very nice. I just really worry he's not going to have the damage without Void Staff to chew through some of the SANDBOX members' life, but I suppose if he just amplifies the effectiveness of all of his teammates, then things might be a-okay there. Fate is trying to shove in this wave. Dudo is going to meet him. This dragon is so important for both of these teams.
Yeah, 30 seconds before that one is going to be on the board. 500 gold is in this game. It's extremely close, as now Lehen's going to get possibly caught out of position, chained up, and actually decides to turn it around and go for the engage, and Summit is just dead before the fight could even really start. As now Viper looking to fight against Root. Can he actually land it? Does manage to get the grab at him.
Gorilla?
Stare comes out as Gorilla's just dead as well. Trying to follow up there, as now Fate might be baited back in again because of that beautiful ward from Hanwha Life, and now they will be able to get to Soul Point by taking down a pretty free Drake.
Well, this is going to be a very scary Soul Point. I please highlight one of the Hanwha Life members before the mountain gets consumed. I hate everything.
No, thank you.
We're not going to get to see the amp. But it is going to be very effective in stifling LeBlanc. So we shall see what ends up happening there. Karma, likewise, not going to get any pen. Aphelios can't afford to get pen this game, so these little bit of resistances, as small as they might be, they do start to add up. But SANDBOX is still not out of the game. They can win the next Mountain Drake fight, buy themselves a lot of time, and keep getting all that tankiness.
Lava's Orianna has been a treat to watch so far this game.
Yep.
Viper as well. I really did enjoy that little aggressive play. Made sure that Gorilla had to put himself out of position in order to save Root.
Okay.
So we have a look at Viper here.
야, 좋은데? 야, 보기 봐줄 수 있어? 봐줄 수 있어?
We can do this, we can
봐줄 수
do
있어? 봐줄
this.
수 있어?
Just a really nice
용.
dragon. So a really easy pickup by Hanwha Life. And the one of the other issues that SANDBOX is having is the Ezreal. He did go the Trinity Force. He is the, well, very heavy physical damage. And it's Viper on Ezreal. So that was a cannon that died.
Oh dear.
It went down to none.
It's just upsetting.
Level leads you can see as well. Viper's actually behind Root, which is a bit surprising, but Lava and Dudu very far in the lead. Fate is almost down an entire level. And SANDBOX are going to get one last chance to get it right. The QSS picked up on Karma really makes very little sense to me because Karma would be able to live through Mordekaiser himself. And so
maybe trying to QSS the Death Chamber instead of the Death Realm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just press that button and out of the Death Chamber. Easy peasy. But I think bringing the Karma out of the fight could actually be a really bad thing because you miss out on no utility as Lehens takes way too much damage. Moonlight Vigil comes down from Root. Going to be able to get a whole bunch of those chakrams into lava as well. Needs to avoid the orb as now Dudu looking for Root, but okay, Gravitum is a pretty cool gun as in goes Fate. So much damage here, they've softened them up so much. And the Aphelios is going to take down the Volley Bear first. Will he be able to find another target? Is going to be the question as the rest of Hanwha get out of here. Remember, 2.5 minutes on the next Drake. I don't know what SANDBOX are truly fighting for as Gorilla looking for a Flay, does not get it. Death Realm unavailable, and Dudu is well and truly dead. And grab that kill as well. Even more kills for the Aphelios is fantastic news for SANDBOX.
And that was a very big fight. And wow, okay. Lava did actually end up... He sold his Null Magic Mantle, right? And then went into Void Staff.
Yeah.
I believe. So, does recognize, hey, I need damage. Picks it. They really are listening or something.
Something's happening, yeah.
Sure.
Even Summon was listening.
Yeah. So, what ends up happening in this team fight is Lava gets zoned out. Everything is so disjointed. And the concave out of SANDBOX initially makes it very hard for Lava to play the team fight. Dudu is in no man's land, and Viper has no ability to free deal. And SANDBOX, they capitalize on a very good opportunity presented to them. Exhaust used by Gorilla. Dudu does a really good job in buying a lot of time. Otherwise, they just run straight to Baron.
Yeah. And
they would end up getting it. So, one last song and a dance is going to happen. Okay, replay of Root here. Currently has Caitlyn enabled. Yep. And Caitlyn's a pretty cool champ. Kog'Maw switches over to Varus. With the purple gun back to Caitlyn, back to Varus, manages to land a 3-man. Varus ult switches over to Jinx for the AoE damage, and then back over to Varus for the control, back to Jinx.
Pretty impressive.
I know my champion.
He's just so many champions. All at the same time. I wonder whether you have to own all of the champions before you can own Aphelios. I feel like you should, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, he is Chameleon, so that's...
Well, yeah. Pillar was actually great, but nothing's going to come of it. Really did disrupt Hanwha life. 25 seconds until that Mountain Drake. Fate. I like how aggressively he's playing. I really do. It's okay, Moonlight Vigil just to soften up the members of Hanwha. Solar Flare. Immediately, Root is going to cleanse it. Death Realm comes in. 3-man Shockwave, but Dudu actually can't find the members of SANDBOX because he's inside his own Death Realm. As Fate, he desperately wants to just find one pick. Yep. Any one pick.
This is that part of the game where straight up team fights, Hanwha Life's team composites, they don't deal the damage. Everyone is so tanky right now on the side of SANDBOX, and now they're going to reward themselves. They're going to pick up the dragon.
This is huge.
And yeah, it's super big. And then the lantern is being thrown out.
It doesn't do very much damage, guys.
Really, yeah, I would laugh the dragon on resets.
Oh, man.
He ends up picking it up. That is such a big dragon.
Yeah, it's huge.
Really can't understate it.
The amplification, very, very strong, will mean we'll have to see more of these Void Stubs and things.
Root, just with the Moonlight Vigil, with Jinx equipped, cleanses out of it, and Dudu, even though he's in the middle of everything, he can't do anything. Root switches back over to Varus, back over to Jinx. Not using Draven at all, is he does not seem to like him, but it doesn't matter. They softened everyone up. It was a full-on retreat once again, and it was just yet another disjointed team fight for Hanwha Life, where they're trying really hard to run into a Protect comp, and you don't want to run into Aphelios unless you've softened them up first. So unless Lehens or Viper manage to do a really good job, it's going to be very hard for them to win the team fights.
And now finally, SANDBOX do grab themselves a 300 gold lead. Hanwha Life now lying in wait, wanting to catch SANDBOX out of position, but it looks like SANDBOX don't really care. They're just not really playing around that. As Root, a fair bit of damage here onto Dudu. These chakrams, man, they're really starting to tear through this Mordekaiser. Moonlight Vigil is going to land. Lehens and Dudu taking so much damage, and there's no way for Dudu to respond to this. Just taking abuse from the Aphelios from such long range. As you say, Kog'Maw Caitlyn equipped.
Now Kate Cog.
Yeah. Which one's better? Not entirely sure. I assume Kate Cog probably, because you can hit from range a little bit more. Fate gonna dive in once again. I've really enjoyed his in and out harassment play, actually, out of Fate's LeBlanc. Felt there were some doubtful moments, but he's 0-0-4. He obviously hasn't overstepped just yet. Now SANDBOX feel like they might have found an opportunity.
Oh,
Leclerc whips entirely, and now Root free to do damage.
Well, it seems like we have our answer. The sun is weaker than the moon. Going on here.
Diana's disabled.
Yeah, Diana. Oh, yeah, that's why, maybe.
Well, Hook is going to land.
What?
Cad decides that it's time to go in, but
What?
it is not. It's time to go home. As Dudu now gets subjugated. Not sure why. OnFleek maybe just wanted to get some of his health back. As Dudu does have his Death Realm available again. SANDBOX might just be able to head over to this Baron. Root does so much damage.
Well, very, very difficult for Hanwha Life at this point in the game. They're just going to end up giving over the Baron. Ezreal not going to be able to steal it away this time. And things are just looking very grim. The only way Hanwha Life win this game is if they manage to steal it away from SANDBOX via some miracle team fight right before the Mountain Soul, or right at the Mountain Soul, and then they get that dragon themselves. Otherwise, things are looking real grim. Cad, I don't know what he was doing, by the way. That looked like in solo queue when you're just so frustrated, you just say, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. Take me now.
Yeah, he typed /FF, and then he made that play.
That was a loony play. I'm still trying to make these Canadian dollar jokes work, and I don't know whether it's actually working. Baroned up minions, not really going to take too much damage there from the True Shot Barrage. At this point in the game, and Aphelios, if he's ahead of an Ezreal in gold, you know that that team is losing. The Aphelios team, the Ezreal team, he should never be behind an Aphelios, not until the next couple of team fights, you'd assume, but Viper hasn't been able to get those Mystic shots. They haven't been able to play the hectic game of League of Legends that Ezreal would have liked. And to be honest, the way this bottom lane would have liked, Ezreal Leona should have been able to have some control. But now we've got a Death Dance on the back of this Aphelios.
And the other thing that's so strange is Dudu picks up a Nashor's Tooth for, I guess, a little bit of CDR and control, but without the Void Staff, he's not really dealing a whole lot of damage to the opponent, so strikes me as very bizarre. And now everyone with the QSS. Now things are definitely going to get very shaky. Zanya's Hourglass.
Yeah, actually, there's 3 QSSs.
Yeah.
So none of the easy targets are really going to be possible here for Dudu. Because I don't think that he beats OnFleek in a 1v1, unfortunately. OnFleek has Knight's Vow now completed, and if he presses Subjugate, then I don't think there's
the
guy that's going to win. Oh my god, I can feel the years. They're coming.
Yeah.
Like I'm aging too quickly.
200 of them, for sure. Okay, well, still has Kog'Maw, switches back over to Caitlyn. Back to Kog'Maw.
Always have these guns?
It feels like he always has Kog and Kate. This guy is cheating.
He's actually the best Aphelios player we have ever seen.
Yep, Kog. As Root.
Oh
man.
8 hops over the wall. Dudu not able to get through as now Cad's just getting thrown around. And the Mordekaiser is out before he can even press his R button. Summit's flashed behind, can still shield up the members of SANDBOX, and oh my god, the AoE damage is just despicable. And yes, Viper's at full health, but the rest of his team is absent.
Yeah, and so this was very ballsy by SANDBOX. They're not getting the mountain. And it strikes me as so bizarre because every minute the game goes on, the higher the chance for them to win is in any of the team fights. Yeah. Because their champions are just so much better. And so opening up the mid tier 3 and then moving over to the mountain, it is a bit of a risky play because it gives Hanwha Life the greatest opening chance to actually beat them in a team fight. SANDBOX managed to outwin the fight, I guess, over Hanwha Life, but
it's risking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And also, I mean, I can understand sort of the other thought because delaying that next dragon gives you a whole lot more time to use, but it's risk versus reward, and that was the risk.
Yeah. And so Cad could not get on to Rue, and the Shockwave missed him just barely. Switches over to Jinx. Lots of damage with Caitlyn in his pocket. And then just so much damage. And everyone so healthy. Karma is putting in so much work
Now
for
has
this
Sonya's
team
as
comp.
well. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Actually surprisingly tanky for a champion who only has items that really have ability. Like, she's got 3 ability power items. But it feels like she's tank Karma at this stage. And yeah, SANDBOX have wrestled this lead into their hands. Close to 5,000 gold. Baron's going to be up in a minute and a half. We got 4 on the Mountain Drake. And then it'll be SANDBOX's turn to have a soul point to their name. But I just feel like Mountain Soul is just, it's so scary. You got 6 item Aphelios with armor on 1, some magic resist on a couple as well. Like, now still has this Phantom Dancer, which is giving him so much survivability. Scary, scary times. I don't know what that Bramble Vest is doing, but if you accidentally weave in an auto attack, you best believe you're going to have some grievous wounds. On fleek.
Things are definitely looking interesting here. Hanwha Life, they still have that one Hail Mary, but it's looking very, very grim. Death Cap almost completed now on LeBlanc, and that is going to give so much of a threshold over the Ezreal.
Yeah, back timing comes in for Root as well, who's I think just grabbed an elixir. Will chug that one, run out of the base, and he knows that the next fight is the one that decides it. And he also knows that he's in a much better position than anybody else on the map. 6 items already completed, 700 gold bounty on his head. And, I mean, he's just quietly 63 CS ahead. I mean, we know that, you know, ex-Jin Air AD carries are very good at farming. But this is very impressive. 468 at 39 minutes.
He's been doing a pretty good job so far here in this game.
Okay, Duda going to get chunked as Fate can pop in and out as much as he would like. And the Mordekaiser does have to go home.
Have you ever seen more Duda?
No, I haven't. That's exactly what I was about to talk about.
I've never seen it. So here's what I think's happening, okay? In solo queue, he can be good because players are either tired, inebriated, or angry. In scrims, he can also be good because players are either practicing something or they just don't care.
I mean,
or
is that
it's
an
a
argument
environment.
for Braum top as well?
I just take it away.
It doesn't matter what champion that is, actually. We've only really seen Mordekaiser not work out. Unless you get crazy ahead early. Now he's just going to pop, has to flash to get out of the way of that chain. Waiting for another distortion. Shockwave onto 3, that's good. Root, not quite dead just yet, flashes out of the way. Cad has used basically everything that he has, is now lava. Thrown in the opposite direction, and he is going to be taken down. Viper trying desperately to kite, but now the 3 of them that are left are being corralled towards their own base. Root going to use that Death's Grasp as a taxi ride and help pick up that kill, as now SANDBOX realize that with only Dudu alive, this should be their game to take.
Yeah, and that's going to be it. They're just going to run it straight up mid lane. It doesn't even matter about the Mordekaiser. He can Death Realm 1 member, but it's not going to change that this game is completely over. Hanwha Life, they tried really hard. If they maybe had picked up the first dragon sooner, maybe they could have actually gotten sold. But so much timing took place, or so much game length, SANDBOX eventually hit all those tank items, and the durability, Karma comes online, Aphelios gets to the items, and then having Volibear, Leona, and Mordekaiser trying to run into Aphelios, not really a great, not a great thing. Viper can only do so much on the Ezreal.
Yeah, and you can understand that, like, I guess Hanwha were trying to build a team comp that dives onto you and things like that, but once that initial dive is over, like, and that's Aphelios has used 1 flash, he just walks at you and kills your whole team. Like, and we saw that over and over again. They were like fish in a barrel this whole game. And Root had probably, like, to be perfectly honest, Root performed very, very well. His positioning was great. He was able to use his summoner spells at the right times instead of, you know, defensively when he didn't necessarily need to. I think that this was an Aphelios game that you can be very proud of.
Yeah.
Instead of one of those Aphelios games where you're like, oh, well, I guess he just picked the right champion. It wasn't that case. He actually played very, very well. But he was also gifted an opportunity to be able to play it very well.
Yeah.
Just because of the situation that he was in. So SANDBOX come away with a victory. I think it was still very impressive. I think Fate looked very good on the LeBlanc as well. He was able to dart in and out of these fights. Didn't actually die, but was still able to be very impactful, even in the later stages of the game, which is difficult for a lot of LeBlanc players to transition out of mid-game and still find some value. So I think their team comp was definitely better, but SANDBOX also looked much better than they have in the past.
And Hanwha Life, they were looking like they were maybe going to almost be able to win that game despite going up against the draft difference of team compositions, and it never, really, it did not come full circle.
They got one Mountain Drake away.
They got one Mountain Drake away. It was pretty close, but in game number 2, we'll see what can happen. Viper also, he got bolstered ahead. Or propelled ahead early on, but just couldn't really do anything with it. And Summit, even though he was 0-3 at one point, I would have considered him for MVP 2 almost. I gave it over to Root.
Yep.
But I think he did so much on the Karma in the mid to late transition that the 0-3 doesn't really matter all that much. And he did a very good job in the laning phase, minus that solo kill.
And he was putting on so much pressure as well. Also became a very tanky Karma by stealing all of those grass procs away from the Mordekaiser. A lot of that had to do with matchup, but I think I agree. I actually think putting the Karma in this game was just the genius masterstroke, right? And of course, Karma's going to be first pick. So look to see her get banned away in game number 2. SANDBOX will be moving over to the red side for that one. Hanwha Life will then have that first pick opportunity.
Yeah.
And it'll be very interesting to see how that one is going to go and see whether or not Yamato is going to continue that winning streak. He's only one win away here for tonight's match to get that first sweet 2-0 for SANDBOX. They haven't managed to get one of those so far this season. I can be pretty confident with, so let's see whether they can after this short break.
레오나부터 천천히 레오나부터 천천히 봐봐 천천히 봐봐 빨리
야 무대 전장 있어 무대 전장 있어.
천천히 봐 우리 뭐
우리 괜찮아.
상황
벌써 들어왔어.
나 우리 거는
디펜스 못해. 우리 하나.
이즈 노비전
야 잡아줘 제발.
태호가 시드 줄게.
죽여 다 죽여.
시드 줄게.
이즈 높을.
나 실드
비전 시드
여기 이즈 꼈어.
이제
이즈 꼈어. 야 좀 빼줘라.
야 가자 끝내자
미드라인. 내가 실드 줬어 얘들아.
잘했어
만들어 좋았다. 야 모대 전멸 없어요. 구분 있을 거.
야 그냥 내가 앞에 문 닫을게 이거 미니언 미니언 2개 시켜라
네 전멸 없어요.
버스 탔다 나 실수 너무 아니야 어차피 지나간 건 있고 이겼으니까 됐어
땡큐 고맙다 동료들.
야나 끌려갔다.
괜찮아?
잠깐만 나 죽겠다.
죽이자
야, 너무 아파. 너무 아파.
방금형 살려. 죽어도 살려.
그래 죽여. 넥서스 쳐봐 이거.
야 복수해줘.
됐어. 다음 판도 집중 잘해서 끝내자. 화이팅 화이팅.
아,
수고했다.
오케이, 수고했다.